What's going on, guys? Good morning, good morning. It's a beautiful Tuesday morning. I'm actually working from home today. I got thrown a curveball yesterday. I got to work, the internet wasn't working. I had to come home and try to do a few things on my laptop. Then I went back to the warehouse a little bit later to try to get the internet sorted out. Turns out I need new equipment. So today I'm gonna be working from home, or at least what I need to do on the computer. So I had to bring my desktop computer home. I got my laptop over there. I got the Rolo printer set up, ready for some labels. But you guys have seen my videos. You've seen me sourcing a lot of different things. You see me buying and buying and buying, but you haven't really seen me actually selling through those items that you've seen on the video. So today's video, I'm gonna show you guys items that sold that were in previous videos. So you can see me completing the process from sourcing to listing to selling on the back end. And you'll also see that I am selling these items for what I say in my videos that I can actually sell the items for. When I tell you guys the prices I can sell items for, generally speaking, I'm giving you conservative estimates. More often than not, I might sell it for a little bit more than I say in the videos, but I just want to be realistic and give you guys like a realistic expectation of what that item will sell for. But we'll go over some of the items that were in the previous videos, and you guys will get to see what they actually sold for. So stay tuned, and it'll be a good video. I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks again. So I picked out 7 items that have sold in roughly the past month. I've only been making YouTube videos for like 5 weeks or so, and you've seen me source all these different items. Well, the 7 sales I picked today were all items that were in previous videos. So you can see me source them where I picked them up along the way, and now you can see how they sold on the back end. So the first sale is these PS2 games, a slot of PS2 games. I picked these up at the auction that one day when I got the PS2 bundle with 20 something games. Some of the games are better than others and they're worth a lot more money. Like these games, for instance, they were selling good for like $20 each. So I bundled the 3 together because it was 1, 2, and 3, like the whole trilogy of that game. And I was able to get $57.19. I had it listed for a couple of weeks. There was no movement, so I put it on a 12% off sale and it sold rather quickly after that. The next item is this Trek bicycle trainer. I picked this up at a Catholic thrift store on the way to the auction one day in one of my previous videos. I paid $25 for this item and it ended up selling for $202.39. So that was a great come up, and it just shows you that there is a lot of good things at thrift stores. If you're out there pounding the pavement and you just keep looking, you'll find items like this where you can get like 8 times your money. The next item I sold was that lot of 12 issues of Playboys from the 1960s. It was a whole calendar year set. Now I picked these up at the auction for $5. A lot of people won't buy these kind of magazines just because they don't want to deal with them or they don't know what to do with them, but they do sell on eBay. So I was able to list them, and just like the previous sale, I had them up for a couple of weeks with no movement. So I included it in my markdown sale, and they ended up selling for $51.91. So that was a great sale. The next item is the Japanese cavalry sword. I picked this up at the online auction when I bought all the bayonets, and in that video I mentioned that the sword was the most expensive thing I bought that day, and you could see why. You know, it sold for $380. I did win that auction for $178. There's a 10% buyer's premium with that company, so I really paid like right at $200 for the cavalry sword. But based off the sold comps at that time, I could tell it was worth, I think in my video I said $400, but I said if I was lucky I could get 5 or 6. I listed it as an auction start for $399. It didn't get any bids, so I went ahead and made it buy it now $399. And then somebody sent me a message and asked if I would take $380, and I sent them the offer and made the sale. But I still made almost $200 profit, so I almost doubled my money. But all in all, it was just a great sale all around. It was easy to package, and I love old World War II stuff. I would buy stuff like that and sell it for minimal profit all day long. But this was a great example of making a good profit on a great item. And this is also a good example of sometimes you got to pay up to get the profits. You see, I spent $200 out of pocket, but on the back end, you know, I made $140 profit on that item. So it was definitely a good move on my part, but you got to take those risks sometimes. It's like a risk reward situation. So that was a great sale. And another one, the next sale is this World War II book. I picked this World War II book up at a live auction, and it was in one of my previous videos, as I mentioned before. I paid $20 for the book, and I used this as an example in one of my previous auctions of like why we look everything up and you like leave no stone unturned. It's very important to like, as you're out there sourcing things that you look at and you think they're not worth that much, don't get that mindset. That's a closed mind mindset. Keep an open mind. I've looked up, you know, I've sold 30,000 things on eBay over the last several years, and I've looked up hundreds and thousands of items that I thought were essentially worthless. And I found out, like in the case of this book, like, wow, this thing's actually worth some money. And it's made me a lot of money along the way, just keeping an open mind. So remember that. But this was a great sale. I mentioned in my video, I paid $20 for it. I was really excited about it. It came with the World War II pictures, which was like a huge bonus. I had it listed for $189 and a guy offered me like $150. So I sent him the offer at $175 to meet him in the middle, and I got the sale. So that was a great one. You know, like I paid $20, sold for $175, huge profits, cool item, all around great sale, sold in just a few weeks. This is perfect. This is why I do this stuff. The next item was one of the bayonets I picked up along the way. Mauser bayonet was part of the lot of bayonets I picked up at the online auction, and I showed it in one of my previous videos, and I had mentioned that I paid like $10 or $15 to $40 for each bayonet. This particular bayonet I only paid $35 for. I also mentioned in that video that some of these would sell like up to $200. Case in point, I got $190 for this bayonet and I only paid $35. So far out of the bayonets, this was the highest price sale. I've sold a couple others of them for $75, $100, $120, but this was the most I got for one so far. So this was just a great flip all around. Awesome item. I mentioned in that video why I love bayonets, and I mentioned in the last item why I like World War II stuff. It's just one of my things, but this was a great flip, made a lot of good money on it. The next item was this audio source equalizer. Now, one of my previous videos, I was doing the live auction haul, and there was a stack of 3 electronics, and I said in the video, I paid $5 for the stack of electronics, and I mentioned that it would probably be the best profit margin item from the haul, from that day, from that auction. Well, this is why, you know, I paid essentially $2 for this electronic, and it sold for $75. So just a great come up all around, just low risk, high reward. And this is just an example of like why you can go to yard sales, thrift stores, all these items. You can find these old electronics, and oftentimes people have them out for $5 or $10. And you could see that they sell all the time for $50, $75, $100. So these are great items to source, and a lot of the times these get overlooked by other sellers. They don't want to deal with them, or they have that negative mindset like, oh, what if it's broken? What if it gets returned? It's hard to ship. Don't make excuses. Make moves, not excuses. Anyway, that was another great sale. That was the 7 items I chose for today. And then just to give you a perspective, like ballpark on how this works, I spent $277 on these 7 items. Now, are you ready for this? I sold those 7 items for $1,131 for a $277 investment. Now, where in the world can you get that kind of return for that kind of effort in 5 weeks? Nowhere. That's why I do this. But I appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. Once again, check out my other videos, and that'll give you a little bit more context for the things I've sold here and where I pick those items up. But I appreciate the support. Keep watching. I'll keep making content. And thanks again. Have a great week. Peace.